here, if we want to integrate this type of expressions, then this is how we will proceed. This is question number 7 of 7.6, x sine inverse x dx. So I am taking x as sine theta. So when you take the derivative with respect to x, you will get dx is equal to cos theta d theta. Now let us change the question to theta form. So in place of x, I can write sine theta. This is sine inverse sine theta. And in place of dx, I can write cos theta d theta. Now here, sine inverse and sine will cancel out. So I left with theta, which I had written over here. And we left with this sine theta, cos theta, d theta. This is what we'll get when you convert this to theta form. Now, after this, I am multiplying and dividing it by 2. So 2 I had introduced, so 2 I had divided also. Now after this bracket will become sine 2 theta. So ultimately this is equal to theta sine 2 theta. Now, here you can apply integration by parts. So you can see that we have a combination of algebraic and trigonometric. So this was that rule ILATE. We have a combination of algebraic and trigonometric. So algebraic comes first, trigonometric comes second. So I had taken algebraic as number 1, trigonometric as number 2. Let us integrate this. So first function as it is, integration of sine 2 theta was minus cos 2 theta upon 2 because of extension formula. Then minus derivative of theta with respect to theta is simply 1. Integration of sine 2 theta is minus cos 2 theta upon 2 d theta, and here I had written plus because minus minus will become plus. Now after this, just I had integrated this once again. Integration of cos 2 theta was sine 2 theta divided by 2. Now the important thing is you cannot leave the answer in this form. You have to convert this answer to x form. So in order to convert this to x form, I can see this original substitution. So x is equal to sine theta. So I can write theta is equal to sine inverse x. Now I had written minus 1 upon 4 theta can be written as sine inverse x, which we had written cos 2 theta. So cos 2 theta in terms of sine, it was 1 minus 2 sine square theta. So this is how we can write 1 minus 2 x square because sine theta is simply. So this is how you can convert cos 2 theta in terms of x. And now sine 2 theta can also be written as 2 sine theta cos theta. So this is what I had written here. So this sine theta will become simply x, and cos theta can be written as under the root of 1 minus sine square theta, which further can be written as under the root of 1 minus x square. So just substituting the values over here, this will be final answer. So just note down this. If this part is clear, then you can start with this question x into cos inverse x dx. It is almost similar. Only the thing is you have to put x is equal to cos theta. Almost similar. And the last step will differ. Here when you do the conversion, then you have to write everything in terms of cos. So just check it yourself. Okay, so here for this question, it is sine inverse x ka whole square. You want to integrate this. You will say put x is equal to sine theta. Now when you put x is equal to sine theta, when you differentiate this, differentiate with respect to x, so this will be 1 is equal to cos theta d theta by dx. When you shift this, dx will become cos theta d theta. Now let us change the question to theta form. So in place of sine theta, this sine inverse sine theta to the power of 2, and in place of dx we can write cos theta d theta. So I can rewrite this as theta square into cos theta d theta. So this will be the conversion of this particular question in terms of theta. So x is equal to sine theta, dx is equal to cos theta d theta. When you substitute here, this will become theta square cos theta. Now here again we have to apply integration by parts. So let us decide which one is first function and which one is second function. So again that rule ILATE. This is algebraic and this is trigonometric. So we will take this as first function and we will take this as second function. Now let us apply integration by parts. So when you apply integration by parts, this is what you will get. First function as it is, integration of cos theta is simply sine theta minus derivative of theta square with respect to theta will be 2 theta sine theta d theta. So this is what you will get after applying that by parts. Now again, when you take this 2 common, then again you can realize that it is again we have to apply integration by parts because again we are getting theta sine theta. So here what we had done, theta square as it is, integration of cos theta is sine theta minus derivative of theta square is 2 theta and this is sine theta and d theta. We have taken this 2 common. Now again we need to apply by parts. So let us decide first and second function. So we will apply by parts. So this is theta square sine theta minus 2. Now first function as it is, integration of sine theta was minus cos theta. Derivative of theta with respect to theta is 1. Integration of sine theta is minus cos theta d theta. Here it will become plus. So final step will be theta square sine theta minus 2 theta cos theta minus 2 sine theta plus c. So this is what you will get. I had taken this minus 2 inside also. So that is why here I will get plus sign and here I will get a negative sign. Now this is your answer in terms of theta, but we need to convert the answer in terms of x. So how to proceed? Now as per your substitution, we had taken x is equal to sine theta. That means sine inverse x is equal to theta. Let us substitute over here. This will become sine inverse x ka whole square into x plus sine inverse x. This can be written as 1 minus x square. This is 2x plus c. Because you know that how we can write this cos theta in terms of sine, this can be written as this much, and which ultimately can be written as this much. So that I had written directly over here. So this is how we can solve this question number 10. Now here we have one important form, that is ex fx plus f dash x dx can be written as ex fx plus c. So you have to identify this type of expression, then only we can apply it. So let me give you some examples. Like suppose if I am writing sin x plus cos x. So if I want to integrate this type of expression, then directly we can utilize this form. Here just you need to identify what is your fx and what is your f dash x. So how to identify that? Clearly you can see that if I take fx as sin x, then its derivative will be cos x. So you can see that it is of this form. So straight away I can write the answer as, ex into fx plus c. So this is a one marker standard question where directly we can write the answer. So why we can write it? Because of this form. So just you have to identify that ex bracket fx plus f dash x, then straight away the answer will be ex fx plus c. Now let me give you one more example of this form. Suppose the question is ex 1 by x minus 1 upon x squared dx. Now here again it is a one marker question. So you have to decide which one is your fx and which one is your f dash x. So here your fx will be 1 upon x and f dash x will be, obviously if you want to take the derivative of it, it will be minus 1 x to the power minus 2, which can be written as minus 1 upon x square. So again it is of that form. So I can write the answer as ex fx plus c. So this is how directly we can write the answers. Next question, suppose ex sec x and it is 1 plus tan x dx. This is example number 3, where we can utilize this form again. So here, if I take this as sec x inside this bracket, then I can write this question as sec x plus sec x into tan x. Now again, you have to just identify what is your fx and what is your f dash x, so that we can apply that form. So if you treat this as fx, sec x is fx, and this will be its derivative. Straight away, for one marker, we can write the answer in this. This is how you can do question of this type. Now let me discuss one 4-marker question based on this type. So you can write down this question. It is x minus 3 upon x minus 1 ka whole square bracket ex dx. Now, in order to apply this form, we need to do certain manipulation work here. So what manipulation you can do is, this x minus 3 can be written as x minus 1 minus 2. How I am doing that manipulation work? By looking at this denominator, it is written as x minus 1 ka square. So if it is written as x minus 1 ka square, then I can rewrite this as, okay, just change it, it is x minus 1 ka cube. So I can do the manipulation here. I can write this as x minus 1 minus 2. So if I do that manipulation, then this is how I can write it. Okay, now after this, you will split this into two parts so that you can convert this into this form. So I can rewrite this as x minus 1 upon x minus 1 ka whole cube minus 2 upon x minus 1 ka whole cube. This is how I can write. So the important step is how to break down this expression x minus 3. So you will take the reference of this denominator. It is x minus 1. So that is why I am writing x minus 1 minus 2, because minus 3 can be written as minus 1 minus 2. So that is what I had done. Now I am writing this in two forms. Now here I can do calculations, and then I have to just see what is my fx and what is my f dash x. Let me show you that. So I can be written as 1 upon x minus 1 ka whole square minus 1 upon x minus 1 ka whole cube. So ex, here we have ex also. Now, here if you see this carefully, then your fx stands for this expression, because by chain rule, when you take the derivative, you will get this one. So f dash x will be minus 2 upon x minus 1 whole power. So now you can see that it is of that form. So for 4 marker, you will write this form also, and then you will say I can be written as ex into fx plus c, because here you will write that form, because you know that. So this is a standard 4 marker question, and this is how you will fix this. So this is a complete reasoning for this question. So the important step is x minus 3 can be written as x minus 1 minus 2. This is the main crucial step. After that, we are detaching it, we are calculating, and we are converting this to ex fx plus f dash.